leased this brand new 2025 Jeep. And it was like, whoa, brand new 2025.
Yeah.
Must have been sitting on the lot for quite a long time, eating up floor plan, et cetera, et cetera. So I think it must be the case that they've got 25s and 24s that they cannot sell. Now, you, Mark, probably might have heard. Is it because of pricing? Is it because people don't have any money? Is it a combination of everything?
Probably it's a combination of everything.
Yeah. Though I was just very shocked at that. They're sitting on these cars, and boy, that's got to cost a lot of money. And I have seen a couple of dealers going out of business here and there. So maybe that's what is, happening or why it's occurring. So that's my, go ahead.
As we know with Jeep, Stellantis doesn't make very sound decisions anyway, but.
And they don't make a very sound vehicle.
No. Although I do have to say, I do like the looks of the brand new Charger. Not the EV one, but it's the same one. They couldn't sell them as an EV, so they dropped a twin turbo 6-cylinder in them.
Six.
The same one in the truck, right?
Yeah,
the
Hurricane engine.
No, I did not see that. No,
because they couldn't sell any of the. They had all those bodies out there, but not selling any of the electric ones.
I saw one yesterday, first time.
Yeah, I like the look. I do like the looks of it, though. It is a nice looking car.
Okay, I had not seen that. I really don't track the new stuff, and not like I used. Back when we were kids, you go down to the dealer, see the new cars, the new colors, the new models, the new this, the new that, and now, and this kind of brought me to another thing. I'm going to say since around 2000 up to recently, we were seeing, how to put this? We were seeing, that's Doug on the noise there. There's Doug's chair. We were seeing new things being added to cars. We were always seeing new things being added to cars. And in the last number of years, it's been a lot of electronics. But I'm going to say in the last 2 or 3 years, I haven't seen anything really unique or innovative coming into a new car as an option. You understand what I mean? I remember, just dating myself, when FM was like, oh, wow, we got an FM radio now in the car. We got an FM band in the car.
And now you don't.
Right? They're trying to get rid of AM.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they're trying to do with FM. But, there really hasn't been anything that I have seen new or exciting as an option or an addition to a car. Now all they do is they tout how many they don't even tout how many cup holders anymore. That was a biggie for a couple of years. This car has 7 cup holders. This car has 20 cup holders. And now we're down to
then the number of spokes and the wheels.
Yeah. And that we picked up at one of those car shows that, the only thing that they could advertise that my car is better than your car because his car has 9 spokes and my car has 11 on the wheels. And that makes my car worth an extra $10,000 or something like that.
Well, this year there's only one new car that's been unveiled at any of the car shows.
And it was
the eggs. What do they call it?
Egg salad.
Not one that most people were going to buy, but
I said the egg salad.
The egg salad.
Yeah.
No, I don't know, Doug. I'm trying to think of what that was.
The Swedish
hold on,
one?
I got it here. I got to look it up.
Was it the Swedish one? Koenigsegg?
No, the Koenigsegg.
Koenigsegg, yes.
Yeah, that's not new.
I thought the same thing, Doug, but Dean said that car's been around for about 3 or 4 years. 2 years? 2 or 3 years. And he said maybe they just did something else to it. I thought that was a new one. I saw that ad. I thought that was a new car. Yeah. And Dean said, no, that car's been around for a while. So where,
Well, maybe officially it hadn't been parked at a car show. That might have been available for sale.
No, yeah, maybe.
They didn't bring it to the show.
And well, as Dean said, with every one of his cars, they're like not experimental. But how did you put it?
There's another car podcast that discusses all the crazy expensive cars, and they said that all the owners typically have an issue and they're out of the car for quite a while because the technology is so crazy high that
he said you got to bring your car to Sweden to get it fixed
in certain cases,
and it takes a year.
It could
take a year.
It could take a while, but they'll try and do it in the local Koenigsegg dealer if you have one in your area.
do we
How many? Maybe one in New York City. I don't even know where.
And maybe there's one in L.A.
Probably one in Texas, L.A.
Yeah,
there's probably 2 or 3 in the country.
That's one I never even thought about. Dealers.
Now, how many do they sell a year? Think about it.
3.
Yeah.
They're lucky. Limited production.
Yeah.
Well, they are basically
incredibly limited production.
The whole car's handmade, so they can't make that many.
Yeah. We have a call, I think you said.
Rich is on the line.
Good morning, Rich. Thanks for calling the CarBob Show. What can we do for you?
Oh, good morning. Love your show. Heard you talking about the Parkway and stuff. And I've had a long history with dealing with the Merritt and the Wilbercross Parkway. At one time, I lived in Meriden and had to commute 66 miles to Stamford, which was, ridiculous. But like I say, I've dealt with that 2-lane wonderful turnpike. And there was 2 things. There was another 10 years I commuted from Brantford to Trumbull. So I had to take the connector and the Sikorsky Bridge for 10 years. And it even inspired me as a musician to write a song called The Commuter Blues, which basically said, from the left to the right, no difference it makes. They fly by me, cut over, and slam on the brakes.
There you go.
But I was thinking, you were talking about the laws, lack of enforcement or whatever. And I found in my years of commuting on that there was a particular, they say when you're on a multi-lane highway and emergency vehicles are coming, you're supposed to pull over to the right and let them go by.
Correct.
However, on the Parkway, to get 2 lanes of traffic to try and pull over to the right, it doesn't happen. What they have done, or what they did instinctively, was the people in the right lane would pull over to the right shoulder. The people in the left lane would pull over to the left shoulder and let the emergency vehicles come down the middle.
Correct.
Which made wonderful sense. It was very functional. However, it's not what the law says. You know what I mean?
Right. Correct.
So, sometimes there's exceptions to the law, too, just out of, practicality. And so it just brought back memories of watching that happen. And everybody kind of, took the hint from everybody else doing it. And the vehicles were able to get through because Lord knows there's accidents on that.
You know what that was, Rich? That was called common sense.
Yeah, there you go.
What's that word?
Yeah. And we don't see that anymore. And, as you're talking here, it just reminded me of 2 weeks ago, Mark and I we were driving home from this place. It was right after the snowstorm. Mark was behind me and I was in front, obviously. And we had the exact thing happen because of an accident. And the right lane pulled over to the right and the left lane pulled over to the left. And the emergency trucks and the ambulance, everything's coming down the middle. And then there's the moron that as soon as the truck goes by, tries to get in behind them to go by everybody.
Yeah.
And Mark did a beautiful move. He stopped him cold. But this is where we have gone from common sense to the lack of.
Yeah.
In one instant,
Rarely do you see courteous driving out there.
Oh, yeah.
I still try to practice it, but that's kind of gone the way of common sense too.
You're right.
Yeah, courtesy has been replaced by me first.
Aggressiveness.
Oh, yeah.
It's been replaced by aggressive driving. Incredibly aggressive. So,
well, I taught my daughter defensive driving, and she has, to this day, she won't drive on the turnpikes or highways at all. She's totally back roads.
oh wow, really?
And I'm about to join her for all the maniacs out there.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of those. Hey, well, did you ever record that song that you did?
No, I never got the people in place, and I've got to kind of get back and maybe learn guitar myself to do it. But yeah, I'd love to submit it to you because it's pretty funny.
Yeah,
we'd like to hear it.
Yeah,
we could play it here on this.
Well, that's when I do my car song shows.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
Sure. Well, I'll work on it, especially for you guys.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
Who knows? Maybe I'll go viral.
Yeah, that would be great. You could become famous.
Uh-huh. Are you ever going to do your trips back to, the Javits Center?
We have still been talking about it. Not sure. There's between the four of us, we have talked. I would like to. There's a bunch of things I would like to do. I just thought of it about 2 months ago when they changed the schedule and kind of screwed everything up. We've been the last 3 years doing the Trolley Museum New York Transportation Day live from the Trolley Museum in the Shoreline Trolley Museum. Yep. And it worked out perfectly because we came on at 9. The show started at 10. We got to interview a lot of people and they were going to the show and everything. But the way the schedule is now, we start at 8 and we're off by 10. And, I don't even think we're going to be able to do it. There's a bunch of stuff like that we used to be able to broadcast live from and do, but we can't do now at this point because of the schedule change. But yeah, we're working on, we've been talking about the Javits Center and some other stuff. And we'll keep you informed. We'll let you know. If something comes up, we will absolutely let you know.
Yeah, I never got to participate in those bus trips. Did people bring coolers with them on the bus?
Oh yeah, we had a great time. There was one, we actually had 2 buses. We had 110 people on the trip, and we had a good time. We hit a Chinese restaurant, authentic, at the end of the day, and it was fun. And and we made some money for the station. We always managed to get a lot of money for the station. So
the manager, the car show, the auto dealers actually helped support us, kicked in the tickets for us.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So we were able to get, for the price of the trip down there, we were able to get everybody a ticket in, the ride down and everything else. So it worked out very well.
All right.
So thank you, sir.
Yeah, no problem. Carry on. Great show. And we'll talk to you in the future and I'll work on that song for you.
Thank you so much. You have a good one, Rich. Bye. Okay. A couple of things. 203-336-9756. If you've got a car problem, question, or concern, or just want to get in on a conversation. The other thing is we do have that live chat thing going. We'll like to see if it's working. So if you are listening, watching on the chat, it's at the CarBob Show YouTube. Send us a chat. I try to reply and just say hello and see what's going on. Or if you have a question you don't want to call, you can try the chat thing. Let's see if that works. Huh? That would be truly amazing.
Yeah, the chat is working on YouTube. So
okay,
anyone who goes on YouTube, that would be cool right now if we could chat with you through it to see if someone's listening besides me.
All right.
Hey, look, it works.
Wow.
I'm gonna subscribe.
We got Mark. We got 2 now.
Now we got 2. You had a thought there about what we were saying, and it disappeared. Wow. Okay.
And then you scroll down. There's what about Bob?
What about Bob?
Remember that movie with Richard?
Yeah. What's his name? Can't think of his
Bill
name.
Murray.
Bill Murray.
Yeah.
What about Bob?
That was a strange but funny movie.
Yes, it was. Anyway, I had something, and now it's just totally and completely disappeared. Gone. Oh, I don't know if this was coincidental or not, Doug. I don't think it was clickbait. I don't think it was anything else. But about a week ago, the CEO of Toyota came out supporting Trump. Yay, yay, yah, rah. Here we go.
Really?
And I had a really good mind I was really going to send a letter, like, not a nice thing to do. And a couple of days ago, I saw the CEO of Toyota is gone. They got rid of him. Now, I don't know if one led to the other. I don't even know if they're true. But a week ago, I support Trump. And yeah. They said viral Trump guy, this, that, and the other thing. And then 5 days later, he was let go as the CEO. They got rid of him. So I was
that would
wondering
explain all the engine failures and all the problems they're having.
Maybe.
If the
I don't know.
CEO is stupid enough to do that,
Yeah,
then
I guess.
he's probably stupid enough to inform everybody, let's cut corners designing this engine so it's going to fail.
That's the point. I didn't think of it in that route. Okay.
Yeah.
The other thing that Dean had mentioned this morning, and what was the 12-cylinder thing, Dean, and the electric car? Again, I just totally lost it. But
it was a Toyota Century, right-hand drive, and they don't make it anymore, but it was a 12-cylinder, 5-liter aluminum engine.
Oh, yeah, I remember reading an article about that.
Yeah. And they also announced that the Highlander is coming out as a full electric.
That's what it was. And I could swear that Toyota said they were not going to go that route.
They did. They did.
Well, yeah, at one point, yeah. When Mr. Toyota was alive, he said, no way. We're going to skip that because hydrogen is where we're going to go.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And then when Dean said that,
he passed away. So
yeah. And did I send you guys the thing I saw on the Toyota emblem and what it means, how it's designed out?
Yeah, I saw that.
And then number 2, why it went from TODOTA to TOTOTA.
Yeah, TOD was his actual name.
Right, but why they changed it?
I have no idea.
Star Wars?
If you write Toyota with the D in Japanese, there's one line more than if you write it TOTOYA or TOYOTA. Instead of TODOTA, you write it TOYOTA. And when you do the Japanese characters, there's one less line to write with the T than the D. That's all. And they said this is basically why they changed it. And then
make it simpler.
To make it simpler. And also with that Toyota emblem, when it came out, I thought was really crazy. But they showed how with that symbol, you can write the whole name, Toyota.
Right.
So I just thought it was very interesting. There's always something deep that these manufacturers do that we don't get, And to get totally off the subject, I just found this one out the other day. Toothpaste. And and all you people sitting at home, you can try, take a look at this. At the bottom of the toothpaste tube, there is a square or rectangle of a different color. It could be red, it could be yellow, it could be green, it could be black. I checked this. It's there. The green means it's all natural toothpaste. Yellow means it's got some chemicals in it.
What brand are we talking about?
You name it, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Look, go ahead, check.
I'm still on the Toyota thing. I have more to add to that.
Well, I'm going to finish the toothpaste thing. If you buy a toothpaste tube with the black rectangle, it's all chemicals, no natural ingredients. You didn't know that. And they said only certain people know about this.
There's a black rectangle on the
you
tube?
look at where they seal the tube.
Oh.
There's going to be red, yellow, green, or black. And I've noticed them, but I never thought about it until I saw somebody say, this is what they mean.
Okay.
So go out there and check your toothpaste tubes and let me know if I'm correct. Because if you got a green one, you're doing good. If you got toothpaste tube with a black rectangle, it's all totally 100% unnatural. It's chemicals.
So either one, you're going to be tough and ruthless or rough and toothless.
Excellent, Mark. There you go. All right, you can finish the Toyota thing.
So it says here, for the logo, the two perpendicular overlapping ovals in the center represent the trust and mutually beneficial relationship between the customer and the company.
There you go.
The design, the outer larger oval symbolizes the world embracing the Toyota brand. It was designed to be easily recognized from a distance, even on vehicle grills and tailgates. Then 2020, they updated it to a flatter two-dimensional or sometimes purely white and black design to emphasize a more modern, mobile-ready, and minimalist aesthetic. And it says, the hidden meaning, the interior ovals are designed to form a T for Toyota. And then what you said earlier, it went to TOY because it required 8 brush strokes in Japanese, and 8 is a lucky number.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
They didn't mention the lucky numbers brush strokes thing. But I just thought it was cool. There's so much cool stuff out there. Little things, that you find on cars, you find everywhere, in logos, in stampings, in advertising. There's all these little things that just kind of like sneak up on you, kind of thing. So 203-336-9756. If you've got a car problem, question, or concern, or just want to get in on the conversation.
Did somebody chat on the YouTube?
Yeah, Jeff did.
Okay.
Thank you, Jeff. I answered him back, and maybe that's it. Nobody's
I
listening.
sent him a couple things.
I did not see them, Doug, so far. It may be because Dean redid it. Possibility.
No, I just did it.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to close my YouTube chat and restart it to get the new one with the live chat.
So what do I do here?
Just leave it.
Okay.
You're good.
Don't touch me. Okay.
Well, basically what I sent was a message to the Chinese EV automaker at a major Chinese corporate assembly. Did a speech where he said that he predicted that Tesla will be bankrupt within the next 20 years, and it'll dissolve into the rest of the Chinese car manufacturers will pick its bones and pick up the pieces.
Yeah.
Well, they're way ahead of them now anyway.
The Chinese,
Yeah, well, I realize that. That's why part of what he was saying. Yeah.
And now he wants to go full boat into robotics, which I don't know about that one. That's
robotics and space.
Yeah, maybe we should put him in space.
Launch him to the moon.
That's been suggested many
with
times.
No return, no return ticket. Right, no return ticket.
Right to Mars.
Send him to Uranus.
Yeah.
He likes Mars. He seems to really like Mars.
Well, he's got it. One of the cars is circling the sun.
Right. Yeah. 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 That one is good.
People suggested he should have been in it. But.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to imply. Sorry about that. Yeah, and there's some stuff going on out there. I don't know about the car world. I have this kind of feeling that it's all changing in the car stuff. Totally, completely changing. the advertising is I'm going to say almost like begging, please buy a car, not touting any of the wonderful things that the cars can do. I don't know. It just doesn't. It almost appears to me that the car business is stagnant. It's just not moving forward. It's not doing anything new and exciting. And I don't know. And I'm pretty sure. Again, I don't think it was clickbait, but I think I can't remember what you called them this morning, but it was pretty good.
What's
the
this?
Orange something or other. You had a good one there.
Cheeto.
There you go, the Cheeto. I guess they cut vehicle emissions. The manufacturers don't have to meet the strict vehicle emission standards.
Oh, you're right. Our president, our current political administration, they're doing away with it
now,
and they're also doing away with the whole environmental,
right. But here's one.
Wiped out the whole purpose of the EPA.
Right. Yeah, that's what he's trying to do. And here's one that, I probably shouldn't say this, but if you're thinking about buying a car from a company that decided to not keep their cars clean and go back to having them pollute, then you should probably think about buying a car from that company, because they obviously don't care about you or your health or your children's health, et cetera,
or anyone else's around
or
you.
anybody else around you. And the only way, the best way would be, don't buy their cars. If they decide that we're going to go back to polluting and we want to put a car out there that's going to pollute like crazy, don't buy their cars. And maybe that would send a message. And I got a feeling there may, and probably, I don't like being optimistic, but there may be a manufacturer that would say, no, we're going to keep making the cars cleaner and cleaner. Who knows? But, another thing.
Well, I think the manufacturers, the smart ones, are going to have to, because the rest of the world is still doing, requiring, clean cars technology. And if they want to sell their vehicles elsewhere, then, unless they just want to dump a bunch of dirty cars in the U.S. and then make the better cars for overseas.
Ian, I'm trying to go with that one, Doug, to make better cars that go for overseas. A lot of the cars that overseas, their emission requirements are tighter than ours.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And it's
so why, to be able to just dump emissions, it's like they're going to cut themselves off of the rest of the world market.
Right. Well, they already do make cars for the markets. They know that this car, they make cars for different parts of this country still.
Mm-hmm.
It's like up here, and I had this happen a couple of years ago. Go into a Toyota dealer, or almost, I know Toyota, I'm not sure about the American manufacturers, and try to find a 2-wheel drive pickup truck. Not up here. They're hard to find.
Right.
But go down south, and sometimes it's hard to find a 4-wheel drive pickup truck. But you can find a whole heck of a lot more 2-wheel drive pickup trucks down south.
Mm-hmm.
And then in other parts of the country, they're made a little differently. And, it's not the same car right across the board. So they can do what they can do it. They can, in other countries, they can make cars in some cases, not in Europe, I don't think, but in countries like Africa and some of those, they don't have to make the cars with the safety standards that we have here. And you can see that by some of the cars when you see some of those videos.
Yeah. Well, I would think because of all the money that the auto manufacturers invested in making the cars clean, that
they don't want to throw it away.
They don't want to throw it away.
That's a good point. Yeah. That is a good point. But there's that also driving issue that we always see. It's all about the money. And if we can make the cars $500 cheaper, we can, let's try it. And I understand completely what you're saying, but I'm just trying to be a devil's advocate here and saying I got a feeling they would try to figure out a way to make it cheaper and get away with it. Go ahead, Doug.
I'm just thinking that, factories are all set up to manufacture the new, better, efficient and better tech and new technologies and stuff like this. If we go back to dirty technology, they're going to have to change the factory too.
And
that's going to cost them money.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yes,
So
Dean, we have a call?
Yep, we have another Rich on the line.
Good morning, Rich. Thanks for calling the CarBob Show. What can we do for you?
Good morning, folks. What happened to the days when all you needed was a mechanic's stethoscope, a small tool kit, and a voltmeter to fix your car? You could do anything, and of course a hammer.
Yeah, what happened to those days? They're long gone.
I think if you need a computer in your car, or most things in general, you shouldn't be on the road. I think this computer thing in cars is nothing but a big, big, big marketing scam.
Okay. I could argue that point to a point. The computers have allowed us to control the engine much more efficiently and control it in a very, very tight range, such as, let's say, ignition timing. And that's the first one that comes to mind. If we were still using distributors, we would not have the ability to control the ignition timing from second to second, or let's even say from millisecond to millisecond, because the distributor was a mechanical device, and you either had to, like the Model A's and the Model T's, you had to have a lever on the steering column to adjust your ignition timing, or we could put in a few devices to make the timing change to engine requirements. But they were mechanical. They wore out. Distributors wore out. If a bushing wore out in the distributor, it would throw off your timing. If your timing goes off, your emissions go up. So there, in that respect, I think the computer has done a heck of a job of controlling the emissions of the engine. Now, let's go with all the other stuff it does. I don't know about that. We don't need, we do, because people don't realize it or don't think about it. When you lock your car, we put a key in the door handle. We turned the key. We knew the door was locked. Now you get out of your car, you press a button, and
the thing explodes.
Yeah, the car explodes. But no, how do I know the door locked? Because we're going to beep the horn and flash the lights for you. How many people, and here's one for you, Rich. How many people do you know that have walked out of a mall or something like that and said, geez, where did I park my car? And then I've seen this. They hit the trunk release button. So they look around the lot, they see a trunk open up. Hey, that's my car. Now I know where it is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a problem. All these cars are so boring. They all look the same. You remember the old days, of course.
Yeah. And we were talking about that earlier. The new models would come out and, you'd go down to the dealerships to see what they had and what they looked like and the colors and options and everything else.
The new Stingrays, the new Mustangs from 1960s, they were gorgeous.
Yeah. Now, and again, my theory over the last 5 or 10 years or so, all the cars are looking the same because there's only so many ways to cheat the wind. That's what I think. We got to lower the coefficient of drag to get better fuel mileage. So we have to design the car a certain way. I think that's part of the problem. But somebody else, and I just read this article a few months back, said they're designing all the cars because of what is it? Not auto drive, autonomous driving, so that the computers, as the camera looks out, knows that's a car because it fits the shape.
Oh, that's terrifying.
I know, but imagine you've got a car and you're driving along the highway, and in front of you is an Edsel, and the camera can't identify that it's a car. It thinks it's a horse or something.
That was a problem with those Edsels. Nobody could identify it.
You're right.
It's famous.
That's why I picked it. But that's the thing, and it had a little bit of maybe what he's saying is true, but I think it's mostly to cheat the wind. We got to get our there's only so many ways to get the car aerodynamically clean. And that's where we're at.
Well, I think somebody should come out with a car with just the bare necessities. Maybe one computer, or not even one. Maybe a small 3 or 4 cylinder engine, top speed, 70 miles an hour is as fast as you need to go, and sell it for $8 to $10 grand.
You are the second person in 2 weeks to say that. We had someone last week say the exact same thing. If somebody came out with a basic car, they would probably sell a bazillion of them. Keep them down around 20 grand. They'd sell out in a matter of days. And I agree.
The new Slate car is that?
Yeah, that new Slate pickup truck that's basically what it is.
It's supposed to be 20 to 25.
I don't know.
That's still too much. Nobody can afford that anymore.
Well, that's another issue. Cars are just going crazy on pricing. And if you think about it, a lot of the stuff that is in the car, you don't even use. It's why is it here?
Well, it's as I say, it's a marketing scam. They designed this crap to break.
Yeah. As Mel Brooks said in what's it, Spaceballs, merchandising.
Yeah. All right, folks.
All right, thank you, Rich, and you
good
have
conversation.
A great day.
I always get a good laugh out of your show.
Now we try. You have a good one.
All right, bye.
Goodbye.
Thanks for listening.
Oh, I'm glad he's laughing with us and not at us, I hope. But
maybe a little bit of both.
A little of both. I know you're going to try to tell me we have another phone call.
Yeah, you're going to like this one.
Oh, boy.
But before that.
Yes. Thank you, Mark. I was looking at the clock. Thank you. You are listening to WPKN in Bridgeport, 89.5 FM, listener-supported community radio. You can also hear us streaming online 24/7 to the entire universe at WPKN.org.
All right. We got Peter.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day to everybody.
Sorry. Yes.
Yep. We have who?
Sorry, I didn't realize I had the headphones on. Peter in Long Island.
Good morning, Peter. Thanks for calling the CarBob Show. What can we do for you?
Hi, how are you? So I was listening to the radio station that was talking about all the vehicles and how they don't have, technology and new bells and whistles and stuff like that. But I bought a Cybertruck, and I got to tell you, this thing has every bell, every whistle. You don't need a key. You don't have to press a button in order to get in and out of it. You don't have to worry about having your keys, forgetting your keys. You don't have to worry about shutting it off, and it's still running. I could just keep going on and on. The thing drove me all over town, backs into a parking spot. It's like having a chauffeur, or an Uber driver that you don't have to pay for. It's absolutely amazing. And as far as bells and gadgets, it's got every single one and more.
Okay. Well,
so I just figured I'd throw that in there because, you guys were saying that there's nothing new and exciting, but this thing, if you got to get in one and try it out, and you'll be amazed.
Well, I just hope it doesn't burn up on you while you're inside and you can't get the doors open.
Oh, me too, 100%. But we worry about that with all the new technology. At one time cars didn't have a round wheel, and look where we are today. So, we can't keep, we have to keep moving with technology for it to get better.
I guess, but and
I'm an old car guy too. I have a 55 Chevy that I love.
There you go.
I got a 55, I got a 62 Biscayne, and I got a and a 66 Nova. So
Okay,
I like old, I like new, and I got to just keep an open mind on all the cool stuff that's out there.
Okay.
All right, man. Well, good talking to you.
Yeah,
Just
you
figured
too.
I would share that on the Cybertruck because it is a wow.
Okay. Well, thank you.
All right. All righty. Take
Bye.
care. All right,
And-
bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, in line with that technology, BYD, which is the largest Chinese manufacturer, built themselves 8 ocean-going ships that can ship 10,000 vehicles at a time. And the first ship load of vehicles went to Brazil, and people were amazed because they told the dock workers to back off. They didn't need any help. The vehicles started driving themselves off the ship and parking themselves. And
Yeah.
it was all it was all done digitally and electronically and programmed. And it was more efficient, and they had less damage to the vehicles. On and on and on.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, Doug. I was listening, but I just wanted to change this, and I think I saw the article. I'm trying to find this. That someone, it might have been Australia. I'm not sure. Again, I don't have the facts straight. I just saw the article, scanned it really quick, but they are banning cars, or they don't want cars without visible door handles.
Yeah, China.
BYD, I think, is also stopping that.
Well, the Chinese government made it came in and said it's a safety issue.
There you go. That's what it was, and it was because you lose the electricity, you lose your electrical door. The door handles don't pop out. You can't get the door open. You're done.
When you're inside the car?
Yeah. You're inside the car.
The handles-
You're unconscious. You got whacked in the, whatever.
Oh, okay.
And somebody comes up and tries to grab the door handle to open the car. Where's the door handle?
I thought you meant the other way around too.
No.
There's no handles in the car.
Outside.
No.
Outside door handles. Their cars have to have a door handle. And China, as Doug said, the car has to have a door handle because it's a safety issue.
It makes me think about the Gullwing. So
It had handles. It had a,
but if you flip it on its lid, how do you get out of the car?
I don't know,
Think about it.
cut a hole through the floor. I don't know.
Break the window.
Yeah, the Gull Wings. Yeah, if you flipped it on the side, the other one should open.
If you flip it on the roof, neither one will. You have to
Oh
break the
no,
windshield.
no. Then they would just come out and you'd be like a clamshell kind of thing, upside down clamshell. I've never driven one, so I don't know. You know,
I read something about someone made one. If it flips over, it had explosive charges and it blew the hinges off the car, so off the doors.
I could think of some things to do with that. Wow. Yeah. You know, and as Peter said, you know, well, he likes his Cybertruck. Well, that's good. The overall ratings on those Cybertrucks, I think, are not good. A lot of people have died in those Cybertrucks. You know, I'm not saying hundreds, but there's been a few instances where people have burned to death in Cybertrucks, couldn't get out, panels falling off, headlights that you can't see from a little bit of snow. I mean, it goes on and on and on. Just a poorly designed car. But yes, it did have every, you know, bell and whistle on it. And
Now, I wanted to know is like, what kind of payload can you put in that little bed thing?
I have
that's
no
got-
idea. I never thought about that because when I look at it, I see a dumpster. I don't see a vehicle, and I don't see anywhere for storage. Where do you see storage?
The bed is like that weird sloped angle on the back.
Yeah,
There's some kind of a bed there.
don't know. I don't know.
Couple of bags of garbage, maybe.
You know, and a different vehicle. I mean, I don't know what to say about it. I really, truly don't know without being totally and completely nasty. I don't know what to say about it. I just don't have any idea. But back to the car thing. Yes, I think way too complex, way too much stuff that people probably never use. I think it was, we've said this many times. Doug mentioned the last show. You got an owner's manual that's 500 pages, big, large, long, whatever you want to term it. I don't know if there's probably a few people that have gone there and sat and read the whole owner's manual, but I found just something to do. Oh, I don't remember how to do this, and try to look it up. You go this section, that section, trying to find it, and then finally find, oh, it was very simple. Yeah, I should have gotten a 5-year-old or an 8-year-old to do it, because all they do is stick around on computers anyway. So, for us, it's a little bit more difficult. Simple would be better. And I think a more simple car would sell. I truly do. If you could get a car down to $15,000, $20,000, I think you would sell a bazillion of those cars.
The Slate, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, and even the Slate, but the gentleman Rich said even 25 is a little bit high, because people are out of work, people aren't working, cars are getting so expensive, insurance is crazy, it just goes on. And to own a car today is just a lot of money. We have two calls?
Yeah, first is Robert.
Good morning, Robert. Thanks for calling the CarBob Show. What can we do for you?
Yeah, I guess we talked about this before. It seemed I have a new F-150, and it's always updating. And what I wonder is, when the point comes when it can't be supported anymore, like the phones. So what I wonder, if you guys in your brilliance are able to make this thing that can't be supported anymore, are you able to knock it down to where then, like that one person said, you can put one computer for the timing and make it work? It seems like our technology is going faster than we're able to work on these things or even think about them. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I know what you're saying. I don't know if it could be, because okay, here we go. I guess I got to go this route. The internal combustion engine, as we know it today, is incredibly inefficient. It's a piece of garbage. It really is. If you're lucky, if you're really, really lucky, out of a gasoline internal combustion engine, you might be able to get 27% efficiency. And through efficiency, I mean X amount, 10% of gasoline goes into the combustion chamber. That 10% of gasoline is used totally and completely to power the vehicle. And out of the vehicle comes moisture and nitrogen. Okay, yeah. If that were possible, then I would say fine. But we have been, over the last 100 years, and especially in the last 40 or 50, trying to improve the internal combustion engine's efficiency, and it hasn't happened. If people paid attention, I used to say 25% was a good, efficient motor. And here's how I would classify that. For every $1 of gasoline that you put in your fuel tank, 25 cents of that gets you down the road. The other 75 cents is burned, gone as heat energy loss in the oil, in the coolant, in the engine, out the exhaust, you name it, you're losing it. So for every $1 you put in that gas tank, 25 cents gets you down the road, 75 cents goes up in flames. Okay, there's the first thing. With the advent of emissions, we've made the cars much cleaner. With putting alcohol in them, we've made the cars cleaner. Our efficiency has dropped. We're down to something like 21, 22%. So it's gotten even worse, but the car is still clean. Now, with that efficiency that I was saying, 25, I lost it again. Anyway, you're losing that. If you went to electric motor is about 80% efficient. Depending, you can go higher, you can go lower, but around 80% efficient. For every dollar of electricity you put in your vehicle, 80 cents of that gets you down the road. 20% is lost as your heat energy or whatever. When you get to hydrogen, here's the problem. If you're burning hydrogen in an internal combustion engine, your efficiency is low. But the only thing you're getting out of the exhaust is water. Okay, that's a plus, but your still efficiency is low. If you can put that hydrogen into a fuel cell, you could get your efficiency, excuse me,
in the 90s,
up to 90%. So for every dollar you put in of hydrogen, 90 cents of that gets you down the road. 10 cents goes off it is energy. Now, why are we still living with the freaking internal combustion engine? Well, it sounds nice in some cases. A lot of people look for the sound, but you can bet your booties it's the oil companies pushing it. And we want to keep making our money. And it's great because the oil companies, hey, we're selling this guy $1 of gasoline, and he's only using 25 cents of it, not realizing that he's losing 75 cents in heat energy. And basically, that's the bottom line.
Pollution.
And the pollution. I don't know if that helps with your outlook there, Robert.
Yeah, that's brilliant, and I follow what you're saying. Then at that point, we have to look at the big picture of producing hydrogen, producing electricity, and that's you know what I mean?
Yes.
You have to put those numbers in what you just said as well.
I remember. I agree with you, but then let's go back because 120 years ago, we didn't have a gas station on every corner. You had to go to a pharmacy to buy your gas. Hey, can I have a bottle of aspirin and please a gallon of gasoline? Thank you. So we have built that infrastructure to support the internal combustion automobile engine over the last 100 years. Now everybody wants to build the infrastructure for electric vehicles instantly, and it's not going to happen. And one of the reasons it's not going to happen because the United States has refused to upgrade its grid for the last 120 years.
Right.
And so now all of a sudden you want to upgrade the grid? It ain't going to happen overnight.
Yeah, it's like the oil companies bought up all the trolley cars and so forth to put cars on the road. But I guess what my point, I understand what you're saying. I agree 100%. But what I'm saying is we have to, while we're doing these things, we also have to look at the big picture that, you know, we need electric and we need electric cars. And what you said is great, but we have to also make the electric safer or make our electricity without ruining something else. You know what I mean?
I understand. I understand. And there's not going to be a free ride. There's never a free ride. You're going to get something, a new technology, but there's going to be downsides to it. What we should be trying to do and working at very hard, which we're not, is trying to figure out how we can do it and do it correctly without hurting so many people. But that doesn't happen, especially here, because there's two things that drive this country. One is greed and the other is power. And that's it. And that's it. Nobody cares. I can't say nobody. Yeah. Most people don't care about you, your next door neighbor, or the guy down the street. They only care about me, them. That's it.
Well, I think it's closing in on everybody that doesn't care. Everybody's they're not seeing it. They're looking at what's happening. It's
Robert,
not good.
I hope so.
You know?
I hope so.
They are. They're looking at it. They're not seeing it yet, but they're looking at it.
Well,
you know?
Yeah, you have a better outlook than I do because a lot of times I say, oh, boy, this is going to work and people are going to smarten up. And then a year later, oh, boy, we're right back where we started.
They're not going to smarten up. Most of them, but we got some real bottom feeders right now that are they're really taking advantage of all this situation. Once these guys are out of there, I mean, America, the idea of America is amazing. So once these guys are out of there, we're just too spoiled and we're too strong and we want to be free too much and let these kind of guys take it away, like the Musks and them.
Yeah, I agree. And it's not just smarten up in this country. I think it's wake up.
Yeah.
we went through this in the 1800s, and you had like a few guys that had a massive amount of the treasury to themselves, the Rockefellers and the Astors and all these people. Yeah. And the people got PO'd, and politics was extremely corrupt. And there was a turnaround where people said, no, this has got to change. And they did. There was antitrust and all these other things.
Right.
That
Social Security, welfare
right,
systems.
All of this, right. And so there was going off in the other direction of taking care of the people and keeping it fair and an equal playing field type of thing. Yeah. And now they're literally dismantling all of that, all that infrastructure. They just
we got to put it all back in a different, better way. A new democracy. We just got to put it back because they're taking it apart. Like you just said, they took apart the EPA now, and that was very important. Now it's not there anymore. So,
this week they just canned the antitrust director.
Did they really? And the endangerment finding, they got rid of that. I mean, all these things are so basically important to our kids' future that these guys, they got to go.
And here's one that a lot of people haven't even paid attention to: the consumer protection.
Yep.
He destroyed that, and in a few months, I've heard that consumers have lost hundreds of millions of dollars because they have nobody to protect them from the corporations and their ways.
Yeah.
And this country's going down the tubes, and I don't think anybody's seeing it.
And we're seeing more and more.
They're looking at it. We'll get them out of there.
I hope so, Robert. I hope so.
We gotta. I heard Musk once say, "We're tired of taking care of these people." But what's really funny is, who are they going to sell this stuff to? Are they going to sell it to their robots? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. There you go.
Well, the funniest thing of all is that all these people that they're going to get rid of and drive out of the country.
Yeah.
They sat down and somebody said, "Hey, wait a second. These people are all working.
Yep.
We're picking these people up while they're while they're seeking work or at work.
Yeah.
And they went to construction sites because that's where a lot of the people were working, and these people were working, paying taxes and everything else like this.
Yeah.
And they added all the things up, and it's like $1 trillion of income that we make on these quote illegal workers.
Yeah.
But they're workers. They're just that's the rationale of being an American, was you come to America and you work your tail off and you can get ahead.
Yeah, and you have leaders that have a brain that really understand how to make all that better for all. And it's possible. We just don't have any space for them at the table right now, but they're there.
You're right.
They'll be there.
But then you got these little small-minded people that run around and say, "But do they have a paper? Do they have the paper?
Yeah.
Let me see the paper. The paper."
Yeah.
And it's like the guy's working his buns off, like 12, 16 hours a day to support his family.
And then you got this Musk guy. What's really just one more thing, but like he got out of Washington after he got all that he needed, and now he's back at the trough again.
Right? Yeah, exacty.
It's like these guys are the biggest welfare queens that ever were. These billionaires. It's amazing how they don't see that. They're really corrupted. Their minds are gone.
Well, Robert, it's interesting. Pay attention to here because Doug and I and Dean and Mark are working on some type of political podcast, and we hope to get this out there within the next
Good
month
for you. And I wish they'd change the schedule so you guys are on later, because I got up early by mistake today. I mean,
yeah, well, you know what? Send a letter.
That was
send an email.
I will.
Send it to the station.
Huh?
Send it to the station. Bob
I
Johnson's
definitely
a programmer.
will. I mean, you guys are like kind of like a factory more than a radio show. You guys are making stuff, so we need to sleep.
Me too. All right, Robert, thank you.
Thanks
for the call, and you have a great day.
Yeah, you too.
Okay, bye.
Hey, I got something really. You heard about the Gordie Howe Bridge?
Yeah, I heard about it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's an instance, and it's transportation. It's all about cars, trucks, and getting back and forth. And a few years ago, in fact, our president actually supported the idea. Said, "Yeah, the Canada said let's build another bridge so we can get more."
The tunnel was getting outdated. They couldn't handle the traffic.
Right. So he said, yeah, man, but you guys have to pay for it. So they said, fine. They paid $6 billion, but they used American steel and American workers along with Canadian. And at the end of it all, they made a deal with the state of Michigan, said, look, we'll give you a 50% ownership. So you guys can keep the money that you make on your end of the bridge. And, we'll take our end. And we'll share the maintenance of the vehicle, of the bridge for the future. And now he wants to shut it down because
he got embarrassed by Carney.
The old bridge is actually owned by a trucking company family that doesn't want to give up the income that they think that the new bridge is going to take from the.
Oh, I hadn't heard that aspect of it.
Oh yeah. That's why he changed his mind, because the guy called up the president and said, "Look, you got to do something." And look, we donated to so much money to your thing. You owe us, and
there you go.
He said, and they sent another check along so that he would sweeten the list, so he'd be more attentive to their problem. And within days, he was out there saying, "Oh, the bridge has got to stop. We're going to shut it down."
Yeah, the Cheeto. We do have a couple calls, Doug. Go ahead.
Okay.
First up is Dwayne.
Good morning, Dwayne. Thanks for calling CarBob Show. Thanks for holding on.
Oh, yeah. Good show as usual. You kind of took the wind out of my sails earlier because...
Sorry. Sorry about that.
I was thinking about all this technology. I wonder if we have actually peaked out with technology. I mean, the cars are just a computer with four wheels on it. Everything's breaking. I don't think anybody's really satisfied with the purchase. I think people are forced into buying these cars with all this electronic crap in it. And I think if, a Ford or a GMC, if they came out with something, a basic car with nothing on it, just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think
they would sell them like hotcakes.
I do too. And thank you for putting it into words, because I was thinking the same thing a couple of days ago when I started thinking about all this junk, that what else can they put in the car? But you said it. Have we peaked? Have we peaked in what we can stuff into an automobile?
But the problem is everything is breaking. I mean, you know how much it costs if your screen goes bad on your car?
Oh, yeah. But here's the problem with that. It's because they make the screen the cheapest they can.
Yeah.
Because you don't have your laptop screen going out that quickly.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So
well, you see, they can say, look what we have, look what we're offering, but it's junk.
Yes, I agree. Okay. Yes, you're on.
The cars,
you're right on the money.
The cars that are like, I hate to disagree with the guy with the Cybertruck, but I honestly wouldn't be caught dead in one of them things.
Well, you might be if you're in one. I agree with you. I think they are ugly. I don't see any, as Dean said, where is your storage space?
I just don't get it. I don't know what they're trying to what they're trying to do with it. What is it supposed to be?
Right. Well, there's some theories on that too that I have seen online, and and now we're going way political on stuff. But what the heck? There was a Army military assault vehicle that the South African Army used, and if you look at it, it's kind of similar to the Cybertruck. And who's from South Africa?
I think I know.
So, did he put that out as a, hey, we're going to be taken over, and when you see these trucks, you better be afraid. I don't know. But
the other thing is I want to touch on is with the our grid. Electrical grid. I think a big part of the blame has to go to the EPA, and we could solve the power grid, I think, just by putting up these new modular nuclear plants.
Yes,
I know. I think there's a couple of states down south that are already into it, but Connecticut's fought this tooth and nail.
Right.
I mean, we could have all the power we could possibly imagine.
Yeah, Westinghouse just came out with that new, about 6-8 months ago, a year ago, with that new small.
Yeah, it's called a modular unit.
Yeah, and I was
much
impressed.
Smaller and much safer.
Yeah, I was impressed with that thing, and that was the last I've heard of it. I haven't heard anything of it about anybody implementing it or using it. So
yeah, well, Hartford.
Well, they're using it over in France, I guess, where they developed it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, look at France, Germany. The European countries have pretty much done away with these stupid windmills and solar because they figured out they don't work. They're not dependable. They're not reliable yet.
That's not true.
No, that is not true. But the reactors that they're building,
a large
over
part,
there,
you get 60% of the Scandinavian power is all from natural resources.
What about Germany and France? I thought they gave up on it.
France has developed a reactor a number of years ago that is like 90% of the fuel is used, very little waste fuel, very efficient, very reliable, but it was very expensive. And that's another reason they won't build them here, because it would cost too much.
Well, probably also because it's new technology. You know how prices come down after things come up because they figure out a better and cheaper way to build it.
Yeah. Yep.
But I think Hartford has a lot to do with the blame why we can't have a good power grid in this state. We used to Connecticut was never hurting for electricity back in the 60s and 70s that I remember.
Yeah, but we also didn't have the electrical demand that we have now. And that's a part that is an issue. And I'm not disagreeing with you, but that is an issue. The bottom line, though, is they have not, if you want to improve the grid, and it's expensive, you want to improve the grid, there's a bunch of things that have to be done. Number one, all of the towers that we have in place now would have to be replaced with taller towers, wider spacing on the wires, basically because of the higher voltages required. And there would have to be more towers put in and more lines run. And now you run into the not in my backyard stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't want that. And I can remember reading this article a couple of years ago. The power company wanted to put a line from one place to another town so the town could have more reliable electricity. And it had to go across a farmer's land. And the farmer said, nope. Hell with the town. Screw them. You're not putting wires on my property.
They kind of went through with that. Bethel and Reading had an issue, but the power company overtook them, I guess. They got their way.
Yeah, well, how does that go? The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few? I don't know.
Something like that.
But, there are issues that it doesn't matter at this point because we are so far behind.
Yeah, I agree.
Most of the world that it's going to take us decades at this point to catch up.
It just seems like the will isn't there.
Right.
And if the will does appear, there's always thousands of people to shut it down. Why we can't do it?
Yeah. Yeah. But
I don't know.
All
I don't know
right,
what the answer is.
I don't either.
Anyway,
but thank you for listening.
The good news is that the offshore power windmills it got shut down twice by our current, and finally the courts have said the money was and all the approvals were made, and they did everything they were supposed to do. You can't shut it down because you don't like windmills. And the good thing is that it should reduce electricity cost in New England about a third, and because
I don't know, they're talking about it's more expensive up on the Cape. All these windmills are putting off, where is it, Nantucket, and running these wires under the ocean.
One of the things that you're gonna hear is a lot of crap that's out there that's being produced by oil companies and everything else, saying it won't work, it won't work, it won't work. And like you said yourself, how come there's so many people when we want to get ahead and move ahead and have new things working well, you got all these people trying to tear it down. And the big thing is, and that's one of the reasons why Bob and I are doing this show, is because we want to say, hey, wait, this story about it, electric cars are a failure. It's not true. I mean, last year, 2025, in the world, electrical cars made the highest increase in sales in history of any kind of vehicle technology. So, and for us to sit here and listen to our media, our newspapers, our broadcasters saying,
media?
Cars, forget about them.
Propaganda.
They're 20 years ahead. I'm telling you, you have 70% of the vehicles in Scandinavia that are all electric already on the highway.
And I think they have the highways that have those things in the middle that charge as you go along.
Yeah, they have chargers built into the highway. Yep.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Yep. Not here.
Yeah. They have bus lines. They have buses that do that.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a couple of calls. Dwayne, thank you so much. Thank you for listening. I appreciate the input. One. Yeah, you too.
Bye.
Have a good one. Bye. Next.
Up next is Paul in
Norwalk.
No, I forgot where he was.
Good morning, Paul. Thanks for calling CarBob Show.
Good morning,
Thomaston.
guys.
Thomaston.
Yeah, that's correct, gentlemen. I actually had enough jingle in my pocket to buy a gallon of gasoline, I guess. Wow. You know what it would be if it wasn't subsidized by these corporate hacks, sucking off the tit. And 100%, you guys are spot on. And you know what? So much so, I'm getting paranoid. Where does all that tire wear go when it disappears from the tire?
Oh, you haven't been have you read about that lately?
It's all the particles in your lung.
Yeah. All the particles that are going into the water too. Yep. The tire rubber, pieces of plastic, all of that stuff, as it wears off your tires, gets washed into the water, and now you're drinking it.
Oh my God. Please don't look up even the EPA as it's being stripped, right? A researcher, Paul Mayer, led an effort to investigate the life cycle of tires, where the rubber meets the road. Unbelievable. But here's one that might get you taken off the air. How about if we regulate the amount of tire wear coming off these fucking, excuse me, it's one of the words that I caught it, I think.
No, and I don't know if I hit the button fast enough.
That's not the button for that anyway.
Oh, I thought that was the wrong button. Hit the wrong button.
No, these NASCAR meetups. And by the way, my cousin invited me to go to one of these very loud, obnoxious events. Connecticut Racetrack in Connecticut. They hold an event. I won't call them out by name. But the tire debris on the side of the racetrack and the entrance areas, unbelievable. I estimated tons and tons and tons of debris, no barrier between the racetrack and the environment. If they want to pollute, go ahead, but, let's have a barrier there. So this is the kind of thing that can be quantified statistically by taking samples around, but it would have to be done clandestinely because of the stakes involved.
Yeah, probably.
It's about time that we start, and thanks for giving me a little latitude, because it really, I traveled in Germany 30 years ago. They were so far ahead of us. And for someone to say that, oh yeah, the Europeans and the Germans, I understand they're pulling back from ecology. No, it makes financial sense. One of my relatives was a super of this building, in back 35 years ago, the technology in that building was superior than what we have now. The recapture methods, all the smart stuff, instead of going for the quick buck. But we have to take responsibility for our actions, and we need to have drastic regulation of the use of vehicles and the analysis out there. And you're right, 100%, the fabricators, the purveyors of misinformation, that's been going on for 20 years. These right-wing radio stations that carry this garbage, they don't fact-check them. And then we suffer. Our lungs suffer. Our children's lungs suffer. And they don't get it. And this is and I agree, and I'm sorry that if some people are offended, but this is the political truth. of the matter, that we've been manipulated, we've been lied to. The media withholds information that if it was provided would help the citizens make realistic decisions about who they're going to choose for their leaders.
Right. Well, we've been talking that aspect for many years here. And the example that I like to use is the Cross Bronx Expressway. The Cross Bronx Expressway has, I think, the highest incidence of lung breathing problems in the country. It used to be within a half a mile of the Cross Bronx Expressway, about 60% of the people living in that area were on inhalers. Now, the last I heard, it was almost a mile, and the percentage has gone up. But there was one about a year ago, some clown wanted to widen the Cross Bronx Expressway, tear down some more buildings and do it again. But somebody stepped up and said, we've already got a problem with the breathing now. Let's not make it worse. And I think it got knocked down.
But thank you for your analysis of the combustible engine being inefficient. I mean, when you look at those detailed facts and norms within science, and you say, well, look, I want to curtail my trips. All right. I want to drive as efficiently as I can. I want to make sure I got the right level of tire pressure in my vehicle, the basic stuff, and then everything else goes from there. The first step you take, what you can do to help the environment in general, not only about, automobiles, but there's so much flack. If subversives call these outlets that are still spreading this nonsense and propaganda about efficiencies, energy efficiencies, then all of a sudden they're met with every barrage of, innuendo and personal attack. That's what we have to turn away from. I mean, and of course it takes social consciousness to do so, but at the same time, I mean, they're going to come back and they're going to say, how dare you? You have a 60-something car and, limited use. It's not your daily driver.
Correct. You're right. Because
let's be realistic about these things.
And that's why you do not have to get a 25-year-old car going through emissions, because they have done the calculations and they find that the percentage of those cars on the road are minuscule. There's nothing there. And like you said, these people with old classic cars, they're probably pretty clean because they keep them perfect and they don't drive them very often.
Right.
So,
there's a defense there, but there's always these vehement supporters of propaganda. They want win. You heard last week, the president is in the White House, and what is he doing? He's rolling back the regulations on car makers.
Yeah.
I mean, what idiocy!
Yes, I agree. I agree 100%. But
I feel better now.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I hope we don't get sanctioned.
Thank you for calling.
Your word there. I hope we're good.
Oh no. Well, I apologize for that. I was impassioned. And,
I understand.
The heat of the moment, and it's not repetitive. Rest assured.
Yeah.
Unless it's repetitive or a problem with your program, and it's a caller. It's not one of the hosts. So
I understand.
I think you're good.
All right, Paul. Thank you so much. You have a great day.
All right.
Bye. Do we have another one?
Yes. Up next is Leo.
Leo P? No.
Hi.
Hi. Good morning, Leo. Thanks for calling the CarBob Show.
Good morning. Good morning. I just want to assure you I would never use a foul word on your station or anyone else's. And I've never said that word in front of my mom in my whole life.
Thank you.
So
okay. I mean, sometimes it slips out, and I guess I thought we had a button here that would delay it, but Mark says I hit the wrong red button.
It was heard on the speaker in my 2000 Camry.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, listen, I didn't do it. So I have no responsibility.
Yeah, but
I didn't do.
I probably am held responsible. So
I don't know. But at any rate, the gentleman, a caller or two before, they were talking about changing times and this and that. And my only statement I wanted to make was I think that Brendan Toler is doing an excellent job at WPKN. I think he's injected new life and new concepts into WPKN. So as a WPKN listener for quite a while, I like to compliment him and say he's doing a good job.
Okay.
All right.
You got
it.
Guys
have
we'll pass that along.
Day.
All right. You too.
Where have you met him?
Sorry?
Where have you met him?
Where have I met him? Well, let's just say I go back a long ways with certain people in the music business around here, and he comes from a family that's very knowledgeable about music. And I'm not surprised that he's doing such a good job at what he's doing, because he has a very solid background in a wide variety of musical styles. He was raised that way. So, I compliment him and his family for that matter. We're wonderful people.
That's very nice of you. Well, it just goes to show that WPKN is a community radio station, and every single person that you see and hear putting out this radio signal are all local people. So that's
no, I just when the gentleman was saying, talking about changing the times around and this and that. I mean, and they changed a lot of the schedules around, and I wouldn't open my mouth until I experienced it for a little while. And I'll tell you, I think he's done a great job with what he's done.
Well, that's fine. We appreciate that.
Coming from the people that had their schedules changed, we're a little bit ambivalent about that. So,
well, you know what? They always say, Bill Clinton used to say change is hard or something like that, but the only thing that's certain is change, right?
But he is not the one that made the change to the schedule. He is not allowed to make the change to the schedule. It's the program director that makes the changes.
Well, I compliment him too, because I think that the different scheduling, I think a lot of the shows are a little more compatible with the shows that are before and after it now too. That's my listening opinion as far as the music goes. And
there's other people who used to believe that the joy of a WPKN was it's much like the New England weather, that
variety.
If you didn't like what was on the air, then you just wait an hour and it would change, because the next program would come on and it'd be totally different. And they would love the different and shocking changes, and they found that they got themselves involved in music and ideas that they had never listened to before. And then we have arguments where people say, if you have all the programs in a row, people that aren't interested in that kind of thing are going to turn their radios off, and you're not going to have the continuity of listening. And we used to brag that we're the radio station you're going to want to turn off, and people would call up and say, you know what, I took that as a challenge, and I took to listening to all these different ideas and all these different kinds of music and all this what seemed like chaos, and it was joyful and wonderful, and it was part of our community. And there were just different people that came in and different parts of the community that came in. And there are people who say we want to be like NPR. They want to, they're professional. They're this, they're that. But once again, when we got the award for being the most unique radio station in the world, it wasn't because all our programs are, nice and comfy scheduled and stuff. It was because we were innovative, because we were different. And I miss that.
Well, all I can say is I'm not going to say where I've been and what I do for a living, but there's lots of radio stations in the world, like in Brazil, like in Venezuela, like in Holland, like in Germany, Japan. And I don't think there's one station that's the greatest in the world. I think there's a lot of great stations in the world.
I think you're right.
Oh, yeah.
That's my thing.
And we're just one of them.
For any station to call itself the greatest in the world, Okay, unless you're Muhammad Ali, I don't think you can get away with it.
No,
So,
that was something somebody.
It was the New Yorker that said that about us.
Right.
It was a magazine that.
They can have their opinion, but and I don't know
Yeah,
if the writer of
and
that
you have
article,
yours too.
I don't know if the writer of that article ever listened to radio stations from Brazil or Venezuela or any other country before you dub somebody to be the GOAT, greatest of all time. And just keep in mind that humility is a virtue just as much as greatness is. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
So, but I enjoy your show, and I listen to it a lot because you're very insightful as far as the mechanics of vehicles and this and that. I drive a 2000 Camry, and I would never buy a new car, even if I had a $2 billion.
Yeah, that's one of the best cars ever built.
Yeah.
I like cars that I can understand. For many years, I drove 80s T-Birds, okay, but then they faded out and couldn't get them anymore. But, I can work on the car. I knew the ins and outs of defects in it and blah, blah, blah. I had a couple parts cars, So,
yeah, I missed my 88 Thunderbird.
I had an 88 too, and unfortunately, I smacked it up.
Yeah, I had an 88 Turbo Coupe. I love that car.
You like the turbos? Mine was a V8.
Yeah.
But it was a beautiful car when I bought it. It only had 33,000 miles on it. Oh, I missed that car. All right, well, listen, I'll let you guys.
Must have hurt.
I'll let you guys carry on. Thank you for listening to me.
Yep, thank you.
God bless.
And thanks for your contributions.
Okay, we only got about a minute and a half.
I do want to say before we
we got
to roll. I know we lost one of our great programmers.
Oh, yes,
Pete Stewart. So I just want to say rest in peace, Pete.
Yes,
he
was a great guy. Pete Stewart was a great guy.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Such a Superman, and we're sorry he's gone.
Yep, Dean.
We had one caller mention that Toyota's current engines are up to over 40% efficiency, but they're not reliable anymore. So.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the 40%. I have not seen any internal combustion gasoline
40%
engine go to
efficiency, 80% failure.
Now, are we talking thermal efficiency, or are we talking?
That's what the website says.
I'd have to look at it. I have not seen that.
The new ones, all the ones that aren't reliable.
Yeah, we don't have much time here, and I've got to get this done. Thanks, Bulldog 2, Fred Sunderman, Mother Earth, etc. I saw your things. I'm sorry we can't comment on them. I want to thank everyone for listening.